This episode of the Pickleball Show with Curtis Reese is brought to you in part by Gavin Fight of Resolute RE, the commercial real estate experts. Resolute RE is helping to bring more pickleball courts to the Lone Star State with free market analysis, site selection, and lease negotiations for your next pickleball center or restaurant or retail store. You name it, we can help. Ready to elevate your game? Visit the link in the episode description to learn more.
They're hanging. So, what's up? Welcome to the show. I'm your host. My name is Curtis Reese, and we have a few channels on Amazon as well as YouTube and as well as Spotify. Please follow us. In order to do that, I get guys like this I'm about to introduce. It has two names. It's Michael and Lloyd, and he's awesome. And he's about to come on right now, and he has been so many accolades. All I can say is the dude's awesome. Michael, what's up, bro?
Hey man, how's it going?
You all right?
Yeah, dude, stoked to be here. Appreciate it.
Said you just got out of a session before we got on. What session? What'd you work on? If you can tell us here real quick.
Yeah, so just like we had MLP practice. Stefan's my men's partner, and then John Cola is another local guy out here in Austin. He's taken over the coaching role for us. So
Nice.
just working on some things for our matchup against Miami next week.
All right. So are you guys going to be coming to Dallas anytime soon?
Yeah, we're coming to Dallas at the end of. I leave Thursday morning, so and then we play Friday twice. It's a 2 out of 3 match against Miami. If we win,
Out of
um,
here.
2 out of the 3.
That's not even my cat. What? Why is there a cat in here? Get. Anyway, MLP. Yes. Okay. Well, cool, dude. I'm going to flash through and play at the Grove here in Dallas. That's a nice place, isn't it?
The Grove?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool
yeah.
place.
I went there last time we had a PVA tournament out there. It was raining, so I went and got some practice out that way.
That's good stuff. All right. We're speaking with Michael Lloyd, a pickleball professional, who actually plays for. Remind us who you play for again and what team?
For the Frisco Pandas.
There you go. Hear that? That's here in Austin, right?
In the DFW area.
DFW area.
So,
I'm sorry. All
yeah.
right. So I've lost my mind. I'm working too much. So let's start with the way of pickleball, Michael. When, what, where, why? How did you start in this journey called pickleball, sir?
Yeah, so I kind of got into pickleball during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Just randomly met what ended up being a bunch of like big names. I met like Tom Dundon and played at his house like
Mr.
my
Dundon. Yes.
fifth time playing pickleball, and then like a couple times after that, it couldn't have been 10 times yet. I met Steve Kuhn, who had like started
Oh yeah.
MLP. And yeah, Steve and Tim Klitsch were kind
Yes.
of the guys that I talked to. Tim now owns the Ranchers and
Oh yeah.
owns the Pickle Ranch out in Austin.
Wow.
And they're just like, yeah, dude, like if you want to get involved in this, you should do it. At the time,
What were you doing at
I
the time?
had like 2 years left of college tennis, so I finished that out. And then I got an internship with Head Pickleball. Then once I was done with the internship and graduated, started playing pickleball and working for Head, and
Wow.
eventually went like full-time pro in September of last year, 2023. And so
Wow.
then in a nutshell, that's kind of, my road to pro right there.
You are. You're one of the I believe the baseline pros, especially in MLP, because you're one of the first ones to be a part of it, which is so awesome. And if you guys have not been to an MLP match or a live match or anything, you got to go because it's the most amazing thing in the world. That's awesome that you're playing with them. So do you teach it all, or you just do a lot of playing?
I teach a little bit. I actually, at the start of the year, like I told myself, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go like super hard for 6 months, like no teaching, just grind, work on my craft, and then that's like really giving me the chance to grow my game. And then now I enjoy teaching, so it's more so like a side thing now. I'm doing a couple hours a week, doing some clinics. I do some stuff with Pickleball Getaways, which the Johns brothers and Deckel
Nice.
own. And yeah, so just starting to get into it. I am, kind of figuring out
Yeah.
how much to balance that, but it's fun for sure.
So you're doing. So where do you teach it out there? Just remind our so they can look it up. Maybe if they go to Austin, or DFW, or where we're at, they can come to this place where you train it. Do you teach any place specifically?
Right now, teaching at the lab. A couple of my buddies own that place. It's
Oh
on the
wow.
east side in Austin. Great little indoor spot.
Wow.
Tons of the pros like Deckel,
Oh yeah.
Zane, Johnson Cola, Stefan. Like we all are kind of out of that spot. That's where we get a lot of reps. So
Are you guys using the Beezer ball yet?
The Beezer ball?
Yeah,
Which was that?
are you using that small little ball
Oh yeah,
Zane?
yeah, 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 yeah.
He
The
came on
small
last
one.
Friday. Ed did. Beezer was on the show. He came on to talk
Yeah,
about it. It's
this
pretty
is.
cool.
I mean, no sponsorship. I didn't even know the name.
I didn't either.
I like the product. Like it's cool because like it's like a little pocket size. It has a similar bounce, and like you can just throw it in your backpack and
Yeah,
have it with you.
that is so
But
cool.
I actually like that product.
That's
So
awesome. I'm not pushing it either. I just think it's a cool product, and
yeah,
I bugged the hell out of this
if
guy.
they want to sponsor us though, either of us
Yeah, we'll
hit our
split
line.
it. We're speaking with Michael Lloyd here, an amazing pickleball player, and he's one of the guys I've chased for a while. And I chase some people, and some people say no right off the bat, and I remember who you are. And some people I chase, but he was polite enough, and thank you so much for at least responding and saying
Of course.
give me a shot, because you can't fire me before you hire me. So anyway, let's keep going here. So what's your favorite type of pickleball to play? Mixed, doubles, singles? Does it matter? Do you have a favorite partner, or name drop
I
some
mean,
players?
it
Whatever.
would be like 1A, 1B, 1C. I love them all.
Hmm.
I think probably men's doubles is my favorite. Then I would go mixed. Then I would go singles. But like I like all three events. I'm not the guy that's like, oh, I just play singles because I have to. Or whatever. I just like competing. I think pickleball is like the coolest thing, and like how lucky, how blessed am I to be playing pickleball at this time and getting the opportunity. So it's just a fun thing, like regardless of what event, you know.
Yeah, he's this nice. I told you that, and everybody's like, "Wow, this guy's he's pretty nice." I'm like, "Well, a lot of these people that come on are right, because if it's like I tell the guests, if I'm just going like this and you can't see my toes curl, but they curl, we should make it short. Like, so if you ever see like a very short video, it's not real well, but that never
That's
happens.
the tale.
Hey, tell us about where you played college at. I'm curious about that. Where you played college, and if the environments. I played to college tennis, was Division II in junior college. My grades sucked, but in general, I love that environment. How are you
Yeah.
able to transition to MLP versus your college, or tell us where you played college and take it from there,
Yeah,
please?
so I mean, I first fell in love with like the team format in high school because out in Texas, like we do it up big. Like I really like the way that we do it. Texas tennis is like I think it's the only state in all of the US that has a men's and women's team combined.
Wow.
It's super fun. And so I just fell in love with it then, and I started tennis pretty like relatively late. I started when I was 14,
Mm.
playing tournaments and stuff like that. Grew up playing basketball and football, other
Yeah,
sports. So like the fact that tennis in high school was like team oriented, I was like,
love
okay,
it.
this is sick. And then I didn't really have ever aspirations of going and playing pro tennis because I was like, I want to play college. Like
Yeah,
that's where the team format is.
exactly.
I was also, fairly realistic, right? Like I said, started really late, so it wasn't going to happen
No,
most likely.
you got the heart.
But then I just fell in love with it. Yeah, I played at it's a Division 1 in the Western Athletic Conference called the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley.
Oh yeah,
Played there for three
oh yeah.
years, graduated early, and then had the chance to go do my master's at a NAIA school
Which one?
in Phoenix. It's called Ottawa
Oh
University.
yeah.
So went out there, played like it was very high level NAIA tennis.
Uh
Like
huh.
it's funny, like my first team, it was like me and a couple of other
Yeah,
D1 transfers,
I
and
know
then
where
a
you're
guy
at. By
that
the way,
like
I know
turned
that.
down a D1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no college tennis is like all college tennis is like really good, like depending on like where you're at and all that stuff.
Hmm.
But it was surprising to me because I went there and I was like, oh, like we'll see what it's like. But like it was great, good experience. Got coached by Blake Omscheid
Nice.
and Brad Latterback,
Uh
two
huh.
guys that are kind of legends in college. Blake is on the come up. He's out in Arizona at the ASU campus now, coaching the women's team. But yeah, really great squad there, and had a lot of good wins, fun times, and yeah, really enjoyed it. But then that's when I got into pickleball after the fact, and I was like, I want to play MLP. Like that's my number one thing is like I want to be in a team format. Like college tennis was all
Oh
about like
man,
the squad and just riding with your
it was
boys and
fun, man.
everything. And I was like, I need that same type of environment, and I got to get a little taste of that at first with excuse me, not a little taste, big taste with the Arizona Pickleball League.
I was
They
gonna
do
say,
it up
wait a minute,
big.
they're massive, dude.
It's
That's
a production.
huge over there.
Absolute respect to them. Like it was so fun. Had awesome teams both seasons that I got to do it, and then just now got the call up to MLP here in the last couple of weeks. And I mean, I can't
Do you guys have
I
agents?
couldn't have been. What's that?
I'm sorry, this sounds dumb, but I'm not that bright to begin with. But you guys have agents. Do you have agents? Is that how it works now? I haven't asked that question. Do you guys have agents, or do you
Yeah,
represent
yeah.
yourself?
I mean, a lot of people are still riding solo.
Okay.
It kind of just depends on your situation and
Yeah, you
stuff
don't
like
have to
that.
say
But
anybody. I'm just curious what it's like.
yeah, yeah. I mean, some of us do. Like, I have an agent with like Peak Pickleball. It all just depends on your
Yeah,
situation. I
sure.
have friends that like, have just really good relationships with the company and they've been with the same
Absolutely.
brand for however many years and like they just kind of roll it like that.
Yeah,
I think it's just like up to you, but
that's great.
yeah, it's absolutely big enough now to where like
That's
people
so
are,
awesome, man.
pulling in more people into their team, trying to help them, just maximize like whatever deal you're getting or maximize the opportunities, the appearances, like whatever it is.
Yep. Well, I'm speaking with Michael Lloyd here, pickleball extraordinaire. And who you sponsored by again?
Sponsored by Head Pickleball.
Oh, there we go.
Big sponsor there. Love
There we
love working
go.
for them. They're amazing people, amazing team.
Yeah.
And it's awesome like to be with like such an established brand that has like that that brand awareness like everywhere you go. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like it's cool. And then on the flip side of that, I'm with Stack Athletics for my clothing brand,
Oh,
super
okay.
new, up and coming. And it's cool to see them kind of like on the opposite, like just starting to come up, super fresh
Yes.
ideas, like figure it all out.
So fun,
And they've got
man.
a great team over there.
Mhm.
August, Nick, like they are really doing it up big, and
Mhm.
the clothes are sick. Like it's so like funny because like everybody's like, oh, you have a pickleball like clothing brand, and then they see me wear the stuff and they're like,
Pretty
dude, like
tight, huh?
that's nice. That's like I'm wearing like I
Show it.
wear the off court stuff
We're
like
gonna
all the
tag it
time
too. We're
because it's
tagging the
like
video.
the best stuff and the quality is like super nice.
Who's your rep? Do
It's
you have a rep you can
it's
name drop?
crazy. What's that?
Who are you gonna name drop from head or from your clothing company? We're gonna say because we're gonna tag them.
Gosh, I mean, like Nick and August are the guys at Stack. Jeremy, there's too many people,
Okay,
and
fair
then
enough.
like,
I'll just say
like
stack.
head. There's a million guys
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Okay, dumb question. Told you I wasn't that bright. All right, so let's talk about your favorite. What's your favorite memory so far in pickleball? It sounds like you started getting hot a little over 4 years ago. Yeah,
yeah.
do you have a favorite memory? We have one or two, or what do you think?
Gosh, I think I'd probably pick two. First one would be with my boy Augie Go. We got our first pro medal. It was both of ours. It was in APP Chicago outdoors.
All right.
Did that at the kind of end of last year. It was in the fall, and it was just big. I think that was when we both sort of realized like, okay, like we can do this. Like we can beat big names. We
Yeah.
can do the whole thing, and it was cool. And like he's one of
How
the
do you
nicest
do
guys.
that?
He's so fun.
How do you do
What's
that? Do
that?
you just like click and you're like, I knew I had to. I was always taught if you miss one day, you're gonna work twice as hard the next day, three times as hard, right? And that's just how I played because we couldn't afford these lessons. But it's not about me; it's about a journey we all go through. But what was it like when you had the aha moment? Like, I think I'm gonna go professional. What? How does that happen?
Yeah.
You know?
I think it was like a lot of like little moments, but it's funny, like one of the moments that I remember kind of like having a different sort of switch was I was sitting down talking with my buddy Kyle Kazuda, who's that
Okay.
pickleball guy.
Mhm.
Um, Big on the Instagram and all
Oh
that
yeah,
stuff.
he's
Great
a
player
trip. He's a
too. He's
trip.
really getting his results like recently and
Good.
he deserves it, man. The guy
Yes.
grinds. But
Mhm.
one day we were sitting down at dinner and I've always been kind of labeled as like the aggressive guy, like driving big balls, serving big, like the whole thing. And one day he was like, dude, like you can be aggressive in more ways than like the way that I think you think of it. I feel like you pigeonhole yourself. And he's like, you can dink aggressively, drop aggressively, move aggressively, do all these
Wow.
other things
Yeah.
that I think will really round out your game.
Uh-huh.
And once I sort of took that advice and started rolling with it in practice and stuff like that, I could kind of feel the difference. And it was like right before that tournament where Augie and I did that together. And
Oh man.
yeah, it was just kind of that, like the epiphany of like somebody like kind of putting it together in front of you and just being like, "Hey, this is what you could be,"
That's so
and
awesome.
then me just like believing it.
Ah.
So shout out to Kyle. Like, there's so many guys in the Arizona crew that when I was living out there just really helped me. Pessa, Augie, Craig Johnson, all these guys, Caden Nemoff,
We're
Danny
gonna have you
Jensen.
back on if I don't piss you off, so you can name drop these people again.
Yeah.
Don't get them
So
all in one thing. Come on.
okay, fair enough. There's
Just
still more. There's still
I
more.
know, but here's the deal. I want you to come back on because hopefully have a good time and you keep telling stories, and that's
Yeah.
truly what this is all about.
Yeah.
And basically, what you're
But
saying is someone led you to the water, and you jumped in the damn thing and drank it and peed in it and everything, and you were on there. Here you are, man. Right?
yeah,
Hey, listen,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm so
And
proud of
I
that.
think from there it was just like
That's awesome.
like the belief changed, you know what I mean? It
That's
was like, okay,
yeah.
I'm here now, like
Let's
we can
go.
do this.
Yeah.
And I think also like it can't be, said enough, like having Augie there
Hmm.
at the same time, like him doing
I
it and
get it.
him believing and him peaking at the
I
same
get
time,
it.
like
It's
it was such a cool experience and like no way I would have done it without somebody like him
I got a
by
buddy
my
named
side doing it.
Matt Dunn. If you're listening, he's my buddy. We got to transfer to Southeastern Oklahoma together, and we did pretty good. But I understand that, and you don't lose that bond ever. That's so
No.
awesome. God, that's pretty good. All right, so let's go on to the next thing. What's your favorite? Who's your favorite player right now? And don't say yourself, or me,
Yeah, I wouldn't say myself.
or me.
Or you. I mean, I would definitely throw Augie up there. Like the guy's just a freaking machine, just makes so many balls over and over
Yeah.
again. Somebody else that I really like watching is Gabe. Gabe Tardio is just like
Yes.
he like that kid just has like so much swag. Like he just believes in it, and like it's so funny how nonchalant he is, and
Yeah.
it's just a good time. And it's funny. Like I do have a funny story about him.
Yeah.
We
Bring it.
one time like somebody was like asking me who I plan to like play a tournament with or whatever, and he was just right there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, like Gabe and I are gonna get some," and then he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, like 2028, like you and I, like we're all for all of 2028," and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that." And then now, like whenever we see each other, like he'll just say, "Hey, 2028," and
Yeah,
I'm like, "Dude,
whatever.
yeah,"
Let's keep
I'm
it
like,
real.
I'll hold you to it. You gotta do it." But yeah, I don't even know if he remembers the first time because now he's just done it a couple. Like we were just in MLP Miami or whatever, and
Yeah.
he was just there watching and just pointed at me. He was like 2028, like saying it all nonchalant.
That'll be a
But
joke the
yeah,
rest of your
I
life.
love watching him. He's just like flying over the court, like so creative. Like I think he's kind of broken the norms of like the right side game, and
Mhm.
I think that's really cool. There's obviously other guys that are doing it now as well, but he was at least in my opinion one of the first guys to do it at the start of this year, and
Wow.
you're seeing other guys kind of follow suit. Christian Alshon,
Oh yeah.
Hayden Patrickman whenever
Yes.
he's on the right, like guys that are just being more aggressive. Myself, like I play a lot of left, was fortunate to play with Kwang Dong in a tournament here
Yes.
recently and played his right side, and was definitely like we're both going to be really, really aggressive, like driving and big serves and speeding up and relying on
So
our hands
awesome.
and stuff like that. So shout out to Gabe to kind of start that trend.
All right. Favorite tip.
Tip. I think this is one that think goes across like all levels, but to make your thirds better, make your fifths better. Like there's so many
Nice.
people that like hit thirds and it's a good third and they don't get in
Hmm.
and their number one thing is like, "Oh my gosh, my third should be better." Like it should be bouncing. It should be like perfectly in the kitchen. And it's like actually if you just work on your transition game a little
There you
bit
go.
more, the confidence in your transition game will help you move forward off of like good thirds. And then the good thirds like start to feel like great thirds because you're like, "Oh, like I can move forward off of everything now." And I think that would just be my number one thing. Pay attention to your transition game. It's going to transform just that third itself.
Favorite rule. What's the rule you like to tell your players that have never played before that's very important?
Uh, I mean, the one I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's the one that I feel like I'm telling people the most, at least, is like
The
the
one you're
don't
tired
run
of
in
saying. How about
after
that?
you. What's that?
The one you're tired of saying.
Yeah, maybe that. Like the
Okay.
one where it's like just don't run in after you hit your serve because you have to hit the third off of the bounce. I can't tell you how many times like people just run in and I'm just like, no, like you got to stay back. You got to like, and so I don't know. I guess that's my favorite. But I also do like the rule because I feel like it creates um this sort of balance in pickleball, right? Where the returner has at least in traditional format, right? The returner has the advantage, even though
Yes.
the server is on quote unquote offense, having the
Yeah.
opportunity to score. So it's this really nice balance, and I do appreciate that about pickleball.
So many things about pickleball. It's awesome. Okay. Favorite shot.
Man, I would say the like third shot inside out hybrid, like when I'm on the left, moving
Okay.
to the forehand side and hitting
Okay.
like the hybrid drop. Instead, it's not a drive, it's not a drop, it's somewhere kind of in the middle. I really like that shot.
It's complicated, but we'll see it one day on TV,
It's
right?
niche. It's niche. Hyper niche.
Niche.
We love that.
What do you call it? Hype
Hyper
niche.
niche.
Hyper
Hyper
niche.
niche.
Learn that today.
So that's the thing that we talk about at the lab. Like Ryan DeJuin is one of the owners, and like we love drilling hyper niche scenarios. So
I'd like to see a clip of that one day. Okay, well, cool. All right, so let's go into the kitchen. This is where our guests like to know about you and see what your favorite things are sometimes. So what's your favorite movie? It could be your favorite movie of all time or your current one you've seen that you like the most. What are you liking?
gosh, I think I would say my favorite movie of all time would be A Silent Voice. It's an anime,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a tearjerker. It's really
Oh wow.
beautiful art, beautiful storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one right now that I'm rocking with. I love Ender's Game, like
Oh yeah,
I love the books, and then I just recently watched that on a flight that was like last
pretty
week, and
good,
so
huh?
that's one. Or dude, amazing, amazing,
I love it. I
amazing. If
love
you
it.
haven't read Ender's Game, if you haven't
I
seen it,
need to.
watch
I've
it, read
watched
it,
it.
either one.
It's really good.
It's one of those where like sure you can say the book's better, the movie's better. I don't care. They're both amazing.
I love it.
Find one, whichever one you want, and
Ender's
go
Game.
for it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite. What song are you jamming to, man? What band do you go to when you're ready to get some out there on the court? What do you jam to?
I'm so the opposite, like, of a lot of people. Like, I feel like I wake up kind of ready to go, so I need to like calm myself down before I get out there. So like,
I get
I listen
that.
to a lot of gospel music.
There you go.
Definitely like big in my faith, and so like I listen to a lot
Fair
of
enough.
gospel music. I listen to like something from like Holvey or I don't know, like different Christian artists that like will
Yes.
be a little bit more chill.
Nothing
And
wrong with that.
then I'll also listen to like a lot of Jack Johnson right before I go out and play.
Oh man.
Super chiller. Like if
Yeah.
Jack Johnson's like always in the top 5 of my Spotify at the end of the year at the
I love
wrap up or
JJ.
whatever. So
All
yeah.
right. So, have a favorite sports team?
Oh, Dallas Mavericks for sure.
There we go.
I was born and raised in Dallas until I moved to a different high school or whatever. But big Mavericks fan, big Cowboys fan, big Rangers fan. But definitely Mavericks is like my number one thing.
There you go. They're 3-1 right now. They won last night. Okay. So, favorite pets? Do you have any pets?
Yeah, I so my mom has like our childhood dog, like our high school dog. It's Jeannie. It's a pit bull,
Uh huh.
and she's the sweetest thing. And then I have my own dog that I got. It was a rescue
Oh wow.
in college. His name is Kiggs, like after Curios.
Where's he at?
And he's with me here in
Okay.
Austin. And he's actually a little pit mix as
Where is he?
well.
That's
And
cool.
he's awesome. Like really good dog. Listens well. Good guy.
What's something about you that's unique or something that's funny that people don't know about? Like, I'll give you some examples if you want to think. One guy came in and said he likes turtles. He raises turtles.
Oh wow, that's sick.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just, and someone likes to people watch at Walmart at 1:30 in the morning. She's a local pro here, and she doesn't even drink or do anything. Not that that's probably wrong. Whatever. I would not go to Walmart at 1:30 in the morning to watch people watch, but whatever. So
that's
whatever you
different.
want to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I think it's like a couple of people are just surprised that I am a Christian and I am about my faith. With like they see the tattoos and the piercings, they think
Nothing
I'm
wrong with
some
that.
super hard dude or whatever. But I'm just like I'm chilling. I easygoing. Like I
See,
have my faith and that keeps me
there you go.
grounded. And I'm not like the cocky dude that some people
Just
may
humble,
think I am or whatever. Like I like to
humble.
get hype on the court and all that stuff, but nothing crazy. And then I guess like something different is I am a collector. I collect like Pokemon cards
There
and
we
like
go.
Funko Pops and
There we
little
go.
nerdy stuff like that.
There's nothing wrong with tattoos and piercings. I had that in college. My hair was about down to here, and I had earrings here, and I got tattoos, bro. I get it. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. No, it's just funny though, because people like the thing that I get all the time is like people will sit down at a dinner with me or just have a conversation. They're like, "Huh, you're like a lot nicer than I thought you were gonna be." Like that's all. Or like, "I really thought you were gonna be like a douche or something."
Oh
And I'm
man,
like, "Well, at least I am not what you thought I was gonna be."
Michael Lloyd needs to be seen, not understood. That's all there is to it, right, my man? That's all there is to it. That's how
There
I
you
like
go.
to be. All right, so now we're gonna go to. This is called in or out. This is where you get to. I give you a story that may or may not happen to me today or yesterday or sometime in my life, and you decide if it's in or out.
Okay.
All right. We have two dogs. One is Chief, and one is Labradoodle. And I'm sorry, one is Chief. He's Labradoodle, and Havanese is Gus. The Labradoodle is Gus. True or false? In or out?
I just got so mixed up by what you were just saying. I don't know if you intentionally meant to throw me for a loop like that.
Which dog is named Gus, and which was named Gus is the Labradoodle, and Chief is my Havanese. Type of dogs.
I'm gonna say it's in.
No, it's false. Labradoodle's Chief, and Havanese is Gus. I'll show you pictures next time you come on. They're awesome.
Okay.
Oh, you want to we gonna throw something at me?
About myself?
Oh no, just guess. No, throw something at me like that. Or I'll give you another example. That's why it's called in or out. It's a new segment. So I played pickleball today, left-handed, and won. And I'm right-handed. In or out?
I'm gonna say out.
True. That's out. I did not.
Okay, there you go.
See, what I do is I'm going to tally these up. So right now we're 1-1. And then if you come back on, we start adding this, and then we see who has the most at the end of the year. All right. So how would people get in touch with you, Mr. Michael Lloyd, if they wanted to watch you play, get an autograph, see you practice somewhere? Where's the best place to get in touch with you?
Gosh, I mean, I'm at the lab a lot, but I also go play at the ranch sometimes. And then my sponsor Stack, they're partnered with the Pickler, and the Pickler's opening up a location out in Round Rock here
Oh,
at the end
nice.
of the year. So I'll definitely be out that way as well. Um, but yeah, I'm like, somebody the other day was telling me they're like, "Oh, I wanted to come up and say hi, but I didn't know if it was a good time."
Do
And
it,
it's like,
man. Yeah.
I'm the guy. It's always a good time. Doesn't matter.
Good.
Come say hi. Come take a pic. Like whatever you want.
This guy's nice, isn't he?
And yeah,
He's
it's
chill.
easy. Like it's funny because I have a story
Cool.
kind of around that. I just made the semis of singles in Vegas, and there was this lady called her name's Jen Washington, and I knew her from back when I was working at Head. She was one of our like brand ambassadors.
Yeah.
And it was like her first time watching me play, and she was just like cheering for me at all the matches. And then she's like, "Your serve's so big. Like I want to return one of your serves." And it was right after I beat a player in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And then right afterwards, she's like, "Oh, like next time, like I really want to return one of your serves." And I was like, "Let's just do it right now. Like just jump on the court.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?"
Did you
She's
hit
like,
her?
Are you sure? Are you sure? I was like, "Yes." Like it's gonna be 3 serves. So whatever. We ended up hitting like 10 serves to both sides
That's
or
so
whatever.
awesome, dude.
And she was super grateful. I think it's so funny because she was so grateful, which is awesome,
I know.
And I was like, I'm just hitting serves. I do it for anybody.
Yeah.
It's super fun to me that like somebody is that excited to return my serve.
Is
It was
it?
just a cool moment. Like, and my friend like recorded afterwards, and he was like, "This is what Michael Lloyd is doing after he
Exactly.
qualifies to his first semifinals. Like he's hitting with a fan or whatever." And I was like, I was telling to somebody the other day, like, I promise you, I'm the guy. Come up at any time.
All right.
Anytime's a good time. I promise.
I can be reached Curtis at ReeseRacketSports.com or the World Wide Web, Reese Pickleball, Reese Pickleball, whatever. I mean, I think that went pretty good. What do you think?
Dude, that's sick.
Coming through.
Sick. Called it sick. Throw up for sick good or like awesome? So I don't know. It's crazy. I can't pull it off. And we pulled it off, bro. We made it happen. Isn't that awesome?
Awesome, dude. Appreciate you, dude.
Okay, so